Your name is... Where are you? What's going on? You feel like there's something you should be doing? A forgotten task locked in the back of your mind. You blink. Have you gone blind? The world around you is completely dark. If there is a world around you at all. Should you be worried about this? You try to summon worry to your mind, but nothing comes. You don't feel anything at all, like you don't have the ingredients to make your raw emotions anymore. There's just nothing. Your name is... When it seems like your thoughts might cease altogether, there's a sudden, blinding flash that seems to fill every sense. Pure white spreads into color, swirling as if trying to form into some recognizable shape. Sound roars until it dims into the background. Your world goes from nothingness to something in one jarring, singular instant. Your name is... Things take shape before you can actually recognize them. Items appear arbitrarily, their forms appearing familiar yet mysterious. Before you is your... What's the word for this thing again? It's flat and supported by a wooden set of beams. You see it every day, but the name is so far away. What's your name again? What is your name? You stare for what might as well be an eternity, until your mind snaps and you feel your body somehow jolt into existence around your consciousness. Painting canvas. That's the thing before you. Your name is Chad Buskin. That's right, you've been painting in your studio. That's what's going on. Jeez, what a weird feeling, like you stood up too quickly. Your head is spinning. You look down at your hands, turning them over and over again. They're shaking. Why are they shaking? Your legs wobble beneath you too, like they're brand new. You get that feeling, once again, that there's something that's on your mind that you've forgotten. You try to reach it, to retreat into your brain to find it, that mysterious thing that is trying to get you. Before you can reach it, you're suddenly distracted by a distant noise. The ping of a notification on your computer in a different room. It's Dave. Today is April 13th, the day that Crocker Corp is going to release that new game they announced. You've been excited to play it for a long time, or... Wait, didn't you already play that game? A sense of deja vu hangs over you. Something isn't right here. Too much in your mind is blank. Like there are great swaths of your memories that are missing, even though all you're doing is painting in your studio. You don't remember how you arrived here or what you've been doing before this. It's like your entire life began in this studio moments ago. Like this plainness is somehow both comforting, yet wrong. You're confused. And when you're confused, you do what you always do. Reach out. No use being alone right now. You exit your studio and enter your living room. Uncle B? You call into the house. Silence. Odd. Your uncle should be back from work by now, shouldn't he? You look at the clock on the wall to check the time, but the hands of the clock are completely missing. Its face blank, just dashes and a dot in the middle. You reach into your pocket and flip open your phone to get the time there, but the screen is just pure white. You swallow back a nervous lump, deciding to ignore the facts that plainly contradict your normal life. What else can you do? It's not like time is just gone, right?
Chad?
A voice comes from the computer room, a voice you've only heard behind a webcam on Skype. That's right, you've been Skyping with Dave, or haven't you been painting? Or, no, you're talking to him through Pesterchum chat. Doubts form again, but you push them away as quickly. Dave? You call back.
Chad.
Dave's muffled voice is panicked. You cross your living room to the computer sitting against the back of the sofa near a window. Outside the window is your front yard, strangely still and silent. No wind blows through the tree bordering your home and the one next door. Birds don't chirp. No people are walking the sidewalks. It's getting hard to deny the wrongness. On your screen, you see your friend Dave clutching his computer, looking into it, his usual pair of black shades having fallen from his face, his blood-red eyes wide and full of terror. You feel an unfamiliar heat on the back of your neck.
Chad, come the fuck on. Don't talk like that. Connect to someone on VG.
Talk like what? What did you say to make Dave so upset? You stare at your friend on the screen, holding out a hand. What's he saying? Huh. To your surprise, you hear yourself laugh, your lips moving of their own accord as if playing out a scene. Fuck off, man. I'm a goner.
No, you're not yet. There's still time. Chad.
Dave is crying. Tears make his eyes shiny. Why is he crying? I'm just glad these are my last moments, Dave. I love you, man. You speak like a puppet again, touching your lips that had just been speaking. Your hair stands on end. The room is getting redder, darker, like something horrible is blotting out the sun. Something visible out your window. It takes every ounce of self-control not to look. The mystery in the back of your head unlocks, but you're not sure you want to know it anymore. The heat is unbearable, your eyes watering. It's like facing down a hot oven. You hear flames somewhere outdoors. The howling wind is shaking the apartment.
Stop!
Dave cries out, shaking his own computer in helpless terror. The redness and the darkness grow, the sound of the meteor getting louder. You speak, your voice barely audible above the din. Buskin makes me feel good. You close your eyes, waiting to be killed. Silence falls. It has already happened. The thought you've been trying to reach seems so obvious now. You're dead. You open your eyes again. You feel cold, like wherever you are has an overactive air conditioner. It's completely silent, every slightest motion you make, creating an echo that reverberates around you ad infinitum. You're nude, but you don't have any shame about it. You don't think you're capable of feeling shame at all. I'm dead, you say aloud, feeling your face. It's too smooth, like something from a dream, something made by your mind, something unreal and made up, like the blank clock face or your empty front yard. Memories of life, echoes, and shadows. Yeah, says a voice from nearby. You're dead. The voice makes you jump, falling onto your ass, covering your dick and balls, the missing shame suddenly rushing back as you realize you're not alone in this place. A ways off, 30 feet or so, a stump sits in some grass emerging from the nothingness, a green and brown oasis among the void, a tiny seat upon which a muscular, hulking being sits. The thing isn't looking at you. He's staring fixedly at the ground, his bare feet sliding back and forth in the grass. This thing, this mystery guy, isn't human, that much is clear. For starters, he's the size of 2 grown men, 10 feet tall at least, and just as wide, massive shoulders filling out a dark green robe, and hood over his head. His eyes are empty and gaunt, 2 pure black glossy spheres. Upon closer inspection, they appear to be 2 8-balls from the game of pool. He doesn't elaborate on his comment, the affirmation that you, Chad Buskin, are indeed dead. Are you speak slowly, standing up, hand still over your crotch. Death? The being looks at you with those 8-ball eyes indifferently. You take an instinctive step back. Yeah, he says, shrugging. I guess I am. He stands to his full height from the stump. His face isn't human. It's a bare skull with large fangs, hollowed cheeks, and exposed bones, a similar green color to his robe. The only splashes of color on his body other than moss green are a gold tooth and 2 ruby red cheekbones, the same color as Dave's eyes. Under his arm, he leans on a crutch which shines dim gold, supporting his leg, which is severed at the knee. Are you here to take me to the afterlife? You ask dumbly. The being shrugs.
No, that's that red bitch's job,
he gruffly explains, without elaborating.
I don't do any of that psychopomp shit. It's boring as hell.
He scratches his chin with a massive clawed hand. It looks like the hand of a Komodo dragon or some other ferocious lizard.
How I see it is, you're already in the afterlife. It's brainless to pretend to show you around.
Oh, you respond. This is too much new information to rationalize at once. When the green guy doesn't say anything, you fill the silence. So, what happens now? The beast looks at you like your question is beyond idiotic. You shrug at him defensively. You wish you weren't nude right now. Why couldn't your clothes have come with?
You wander around forever until I come kill you again,
Death explains, staring at you, seeming to consider your presence. It makes you nervous. Okay, you say. So you're, what, double death? Death nods, growling. The growl doesn't sound angry or threatening. He simply sounds tired, like this double death job of his isn't what he wants to be doing.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna kill you right now. Not till my boss tells me to. That probably won't be for, how do you measure time?
Death squints at you. As he does, his eyes seem to change, one becoming orange, the other green and striped. Minutes, you offer.
Never heard of minutes, he sighs. It'll be a while, okay?
Cool, you say after a somewhat awkward pause. This thing, in spite of being gargantuan in size, strikes you as pitiable. It looks tired and ragged, its robes torn and shoddy, its billiard ball eyes gaunt and sunken.
What's your name?
Death asks, snapping his fingers. From the ground sprouts another patch of grass and a stump upon which to sit. You sit down across from him as he paces, his crutch clunking against the ground as it forms beneath his feet. Chad, you say. Chad Buskin.
That's a dumb name,
says Death distastefully.
Your name is Funk McLovin now. Got it?
Before you can object, Death shakes his head.
No. I already named someone else that already. Your name is Bucky? No. Janaya. No, I know.
Death claps his hands together, making more of a clunk than a clap noise.
Your name is Ghost Buskin.
Ghost Buskin?
You know, like that movie. Do you have movies? The movie of the 4 fleshmen fighting specters. You look kind of like them. Are you also a fleshman?
Death strikes you as somewhat out of touch. You snort a chuckle, slowly getting more at ease with this behemoth. Yeah, I'm a human. That's what we're called. Death gives you another distasteful look.
Human, huh? Ugh. Your species can't name things worth shit, he says simply. But you seem okay for a fleshman.
Death sits back on the stump. He snaps his fingers, this action making a large slab of raw meat appear from thin air. He takes a slavering bite.
You can make stuff appear too, you know. Whatever you think about will come out of the air.
Death chews, swallowing noisily, blood running down his skeletal chin.
Yeah, it sounds fun at first, but it's pretty boring when since you're dead, you don't actually need anything. Who would have thought I would miss needing things?
You snap your fingers, trying this. At first, nothing happens.
Try again. Think of the most delicious treat you can imagine.
Death looks excited to see what you come up with. You snap once more, focusing on a sense of taste, reaching your hand out. You feel something cold. In your grip, materialized from nothing, is a large cup of Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
Whoa!
Death seems impressed.
A blue drink? What are those rocks inside it?
That's ice, you say, a little amused.
I'll trade ya,
Death says, offering his meat slab. You laugh. You can try it. You can keep your meat. Death sips the drink, seeming to adore the flavor.
Shit! Dude, this is good. Seriously good. It's so perfectly sweet. Oh, I'm gonna make more of this.
You and Death share a meal on two imaginary stumps in the land of the dead. You test out your newfound ghost skills, making clothes appear on your body, a red hoodie, and your sweatpants. Finally, no longer nude in the presence of the illustrious god of double death. So, now that I'm dead, you say between sips of blue ichor, will I be able to see other dead things, like my old cats and dogs?
I don't know what those are,
Death says.
and I've been around a long-ass time, so probably not. Then again, this place is pretty big.
This place?
Yeah, the dream bubble, where we are. It's this big bubble in the middle of paradox space, surrounding the green sun.
Death says all this as if it's the most natural thing ever. You decide not to ask him to elaborate, since every time you do, he looks put out by your questions. So you die and then you go to the dream bubble forever? You snap your fingers, the stump growing a backrest like a chair might have.
No, dumbass,
Death says.
You're already here. Everyone who ever played the game has a ghost sleeping inside the green sun. After they die, the ghost gets spit out, and you wander the dream bubbles until I kill you again. That's how death works. Do they not have death where you're from?
They don't have death like this, you say simply. You watch Death finish his raw steak, cocking your head to the side. Why do you double kill people anyway? Does the dream bubble get crowded or something?
I don't know,
Death shrugs.
I kill people because my boss said to.
Death has a boss? You ask, setting down the now empty drink. It vanishes shortly after, as if your focus was the only thing keeping it there.
Yeah, I've got a boss,
he responds bitterly.
A shitty asshole boss. Let's not talk about him.
A pang of sympathy strikes you. He's a big lug, but he seems so earnestly sad thinking about his shitty boss. You decide to change the subject, which Death appreciates. You said something about a game. You mean Spurb?
If that's what you call it. Spurb, Scrub, Squiddle. The game. The game that breaks the universe.
So, you say, sighing, speaking hesitantly, I won't be able to see my parents if they didn't play the game?
I said, I don't know what parents is,
Death says, annoyed.
If they haven't played the game, they're not here.
What happens to people who don't play the game? Death looks at you like this never occurred to him.
Beats me,
he says simply.
The dream bubbles were set up by the gods for the people playing the game. No one else. Wherever anyone else goes is up to the gods, too.
None of this makes sense to you. It's all a bunch of bullshit. Gods, bosses, double death, dream bubbles. It all just seems so pointless, like a dumb joke. You get the sense Death feels the same way. You let the questions go and instead decide to ask about Death himself. If you don't know what parents are, did you ever have a family? Death gives you a long look.
Well, yeah. Are parents a type of family?
You nod.
I had someone. Yeah. I don't know what the word for it is. A long time ago, someone called her my sister.
What was she like?
Beats me. I never met her.
You laugh. You never met your own sister?
Well, no. And she was a real fucking bitch. We had to share a body, see? And sometimes I'd hear her in my head. Ugh, I really fucking hated her.
Death growls, but it fades away.
But I kind of miss her anyway.
I never met my parents either, you say. But I miss them too. Death looks at you. His eyes are shifting in color, the number on the surface changing as well. The strange shifting cue ball eyes stare into your soul.
I think you're all right, Ghost Buskin,
Death says. Before you can return the sentiment, Death tucks you underneath a massive arm, grinding his knuckle into your forehead in a noogie. In spite of being dead, it hurts like hell, and you cry out, squirming. Once Death releases you, he laughs.
Fucking wimp,
he says, smacking you on the back. In spite of his aggressive friendliness, you can't help but laugh along with his infectious growling chuckle.
I'd better get going. My boss is going to be on my ass if I don't get to killing.
You're pretty cool, Death, you say. I hope we meet again. This seems to make Death sad.
I hope we don't,
he shrugs.
Because if we do, I'll probably have to kill you. For real. Which I usually don't care about, but you seem nice enough not to kill.
This should make you sad or frightened, but you're dead. You figure dying twice is some kind of cosmic formality. To you, dead Chad Buskin, being nice enough not to kill is a compliment. You reach out and pat him on the arm. Can I come with? We could hang. To this, Death shakes his head again, solemnly.
Nah. What I do alone.
This hangs in the air for a moment.
What are you gonna do?
He asks, standing on his crutch. Well, if I can't find my parents or my uncle, I think I'll try to find my friends. Dave, Iona, Mike.
Dumb names?
Death murmurs judgmentally. They're probably here, or they will be eventually.
Probably,
Death says.
Them and all the other versions of them from all the timelines that ever died.
The what? You speak, but before you can ask for clarification, Death's robe splits open, and in a loud tearing sound reveals two skeletal wings sprouting from his back. He looks down at you one last time with a wink, his eyes turning back into the black 8 balls before he takes off, the force of his leap knocking you on your ass for the second time in your afterlife. You stare after him until he is a speck in the inky black sky. No stars, no clouds, just nothingness stretching forever. You remain sky-gazing for a long time. Time seems to mean nothing here. You want to look for Dave and your friends, but an ambiguous feeling tugs at you. If time means nothing, then your friends can wait. You decide to try to manifest something more than just Mountain Dew now. You shut your eyes and imagine comfort, something familiar in this dead world, something from home, from your life. When your eyes open, you see your studio, or some hazy approximation, a studio and a painting canvas, your paints on the floor around you, just like you left them. The meteor probably destroyed them. The paints feel fake, as does the palette, and the strokes on the canvas seem to disappear when you're not focused on them. But you don't care. It feels good to pantomime the thing you were doing before you died, the thing you would be doing now if you had lived. You can find Dave soon, but for now, you paint. Instead of the blue Texas sky out your window, there is just blackness. Blackness and blankness, kept at bay by your bright little room with all the paints you could ever want. No worries, no cares, just disappearing paint and swirling fountains of color. Quixotic dreams manifesting on your canvas, unlike anything you've painted in your living days. You've found something you've never felt before. In that solitary room, you found peace. You can rest.